Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today I'm going to show you guys a very beginner-friendly project. So if you guys are new to Cricut or Silhouette, and you guys want to make your own wooden signs, but you don't know how to apply your adhesive vinyl to your wooden sign, you are going to love this tutorial. This is going to be a super easy, super beginner friendly project. So I got this design over on designbundles.net. I will have it linked down below for you guys. This is only 1+ credit. So if you guys are a Plus member, it's only 1+ credit for you. And then we are going to be using this blank wooden canvas right here. These are actually located, I got mine from Hobby Lobby. These are where your canvases are. So where your art supplies, this is not where the craft department is, but where the art supplies are. But I have linked one down below that is very similar in case you guys just want to snag it. So all of these supplies that I'm using today are down below. Now, whenever it comes to adhesive vinyl for your signs, the question is, do you use removable or permanent? You only really have to use permanent if it's going to be outside in the elements. Now keep in mind, if this wooden sign was outside in the elements, another question I get all of the time is, do you need to seal it? And the answer is yes. What you're actually needing to seal is the wood. Not necessarily, if I use a permanent vinyl, I'm not needing to seal the vinyl. I'm needing to seal my wood because this is not waterproof. So if you guys are using a waterproof material, then no, you don't need to seal it. But for example, with this canvas here, I would need to. You could definitely just grab a can of Krylon clear coat and you can apply that. They even have it in matte, which is my favorite because you can't see any shine. So I definitely, once you have your adhesive on here, I would go ahead and seal that canvas. You could also seal your wood blank first and then apply your adhesive vinyl. Either way is going to be fine. Now, if this is going to be inside, you can use permanent or removable. It does not matter. So whatever you have on hand or whatever is your favorite for inside, feel free to use it. Now, the thing about removable is, keep in mind that over time it will become permanent because that adhesive will bond with your canvas. So over time it's going to get better and better. So if it's something that you guys are wanting to swap out, just keep in mind further down the road, whether it's 1-2 years, it may be a little bit harder to remove. All right, so we've got our wooden sign here. And I've got, what I'm using today is Smart Vinyl. So I'm using Smart Vinyl removable. I was able to use this in my Cricut Maker 3, and I was able to cut it without a mat. So that was really nice, but you could also cut this on your mat if you want to. A few other options you may want to grab is like sheets like this. So this one, for example, is Style Tech. This is white. I really love to do my signs in the matte finish because it actually looks like paint. I'm going to go ahead and move a few of these things out of our way so that way they're not blocking us. So like I said, one of my favorite vinyls is the matte because it looks like it's painted. So keep in mind, matte versus glossy. Glossy is going to have that gloss to it, and you're going to really tell that it's vinyl, where that matte look is going to give you a painted effect. Now, something else you're going to need is some transfer tape, and then you're also going to need a squeegee or scraper tool. You could use an old credit card and things like that. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you guys are new with Cricut Smart Material, I have found that using Cricut's transfer tape and the big XL scraper tool alongside it really does help pick it up a whole lot easier. So that's just a little quick tip from me. If you guys are using any other materials, feel free to use whatever squeegee and transfer tape you would like. But just a quick tip with these Smart Materials, I have found using their transfer tape and their XL scraper tool together, they have made that just work so well. All right, so let's go ahead and get a pair of scissors and trim this down. So the very first thing we need to do here is figure out just a piece of transfer tape here. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this down. So I just kind of hold it right on top of my design that I've already cut out, so I know about how big I need to trim. All right, same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and hold that right above my design to figure out about how much material. And then now we just need to remove our backing here. So we're just going to go ahead and just get our corner here. The best thing to do is just kind of fold it over, pinch the corner, and then you're going to be able to peel those apart. So we're going to take and remove this from the backing. Also, just another tip is you can save this and put this back because you can use this several times. So what I like to do is get right on top of my design here, and then I'm going to fold it right on top. I'm folding it like a taco, I'm going to go down in the center and then go outward. So that way I can just smooth everything out. This is going to prevent any sort of buckling that could possibly happen with that transfer sheet. Take my squeegee tool here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and smooth this out. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but with this Cricut XL scraper tool has always been one of my favorites for years. Ever since they ever came out with it, I've had multiple of them, and I just love that really fine, sharp edge. Their smaller Cricut squeegee does not have that same sharp edge. This is one of my absolute favorites whenever it comes to projects like this. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and rub until I really get this to adhere to the transfer. So you're just going to be really careful. I'm not pushing hard enough to where I'm going to tear up my top piece here. Just making sure I'm really getting it to adhere to the top here. All right, so now what you're going to do, grab your design. You're going to flip it over, hold down one piece, and then get it at an angle. So you want to go nice and flat. If anything starts to come up with you, you're just going to slow down, push it down, and then keep on going. But as you guys can see, we didn't have any issues. So now here is our design on that transfer sheet. So the next thing we need to do is apply it to our sign. One thing you want to keep in mind is pay attention to the back. Before you start to apply this, where is your hook? So if you have a hanger on yours, you may or may not. Pay attention to that to make sure that you have this in the correct direction. Now, if you guys are new and you are scared to line this up and you're afraid you're not going to get it right where you want it to be, you can take a piece of parchment paper, just like so, and you're going to lay it down inside of your wooden sign there. Then you're going to take your design and you're going to go right on top of that. So now what I can do is, you can see I can even pick this up like so. So I can actually do it before I go down in there. And what this is going to allow me to do is really figure out and move this around without any commitment and be able to make sure I'm not going to accidentally stick it in the wrong spot. So the really cool thing about parchment is you will not stick to it. So this is really awesome. Make sure you do not use just regular paper because it will stick to it. It needs to be parchment paper. So like a non-stick, right? And you really want this white one so you can see through it. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to just line it up here, trying to figure out exactly where I want to go. And one thing I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if I want to do it in the center or if I want to come all the way down to my bottom corner like that. I think I'm going to center it up. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and center this. Once you're happy with it, what we're going to do is I actually have a piece of this transfer that is not does not have a piece of the parchment. So what I'm doing is I've rubbed that down. So this piece right here is now stuck to my canvas. So what that allows me to do is flip this over and I can remove that piece of parchment. So as you guys can see, it almost creates like a little page, right? It's like kind of like a book. So now what I can do is lay this down from one side to the next. Now keep in mind, you don't have to use that parchment, but if you guys are very new to this and you are worried about messing up your wooden sign and getting it in the wrong place, definitely try out that parchment paper trick. So you can save that parchment paper and use it over and over and over again. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and take my squeegee here and I'm just going to go ahead and rub to get everything down. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub it out just like so. And what I'll be able to do is get it at an angle here and peel. Just like so. If anything tries to come up with you, just rub it back down. So you guys can see this little piece kind of flipped up. I can lay it back down just like so. Now, whether you are new and you need some tips and tricks on how to make your very own signs like this, or if you're trying to find inspiration for your next project, I hope this really helped you out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.